And so, very quickly, I mean, you don't have to be too quickly, but give us a synopsis up front. Then we can unpackage it later. But just give us a synopsis of what that prophecy was. What did the Lord speak to you in 2011 about what came to pass in 2017?
Well, basically, the overview of it is that he was anointed by God for such a time as this, and that the enemy would quake and shake and fear this man. There would be a sevenfold return back to the United States for everything that's been stolen from the United States. America and Israel would stand hand in hand. This man's word would be his bond. He would be fearless, and basically that the news media would be captivated by this man, and eventually the news media will, in fact, agree with him. But the election, what the prophetic word said, that the election he would win by a clean sweep, which we did see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you, well, I mean, if this was from the Lord, we will find out. And that is that the media will eventually agree with him. What do you think that means? Because they're a long way from that right now, brother.
Well, I think you're going to see a couple of news media outlets actually go down.
Could this be the beginning of the end of CNN? AT&T Time Warner merger approved. CNN boss in crosshairs. The buzz from the telecommunications giant comes as CNN is being slammed for highly publicized missteps or outright fake news, including botched reports tied to the federal probe of possible collusion between President Donald Trump. Not to mention that CNN's ratings are so low that it is completely laughable. But if you ask anybody that actually works at CNN, they'll tell you that their ratings are high. But they leave out the fact that the only reason why they have the ratings that they do have, which are very low, is because they are mandatory in airports and other places across the country. That is the only reason why CNN is even in existence right now. CNN is dying, and I believe that CNN will be one of 2 or 3 news outlets that will completely die, including the New York Times. Now, the Daily Caller reported a few days ago, or actually a while back, that there were going to be some layoffs beginning over at New York Times. This was back in January of 2017. They made that report. And then just the other day, it comes out on June 28th that they are going to lay off anywhere from 50 to 100 people over at the dying New York Times. 50 to 100 editors. That's a lot, folks. So what it looks like to me is that Mark Taylor was right, that we're beginning to see the New York Times and CNN completely starting to die out. Hasn't come to pass yet, but it's definitely in the working that CNN and the New York Times is more than likely going to die completely out. That's what it's really actually looking like. We'll just have to stay tuned and keep watching to see how this prophecy is fulfilled. I've posted links below this video so you can see for yourself how in these articles the New York Times and CNN are literally dying right before our eyes. Be sure to leave your comments below this video on what you think is going on with Mark Taylor.
Because the Lord has told me that he's cleaning corruption. I read another prophetic word, time is up for those who are corrupt. And he's cleaning out the news media, he's cleaning out government, he's cleaning out even the church and leadership. Anybody who is corrupt, they're going to get removed. It's God himself that's removing these people.
Right.
So I think when you see some of these news media outlets begin to go down and the corruption is exposed like it's being right now, I think God's just going to clean house. And I think, God owns the news media.
Right.
So